Joe, it's good to see you.
Good to see you. Absolutely.
A few questions about how you got started with Shakespeare, and you've been
Yes,
doing this?
we had our 10th season last year. We were beginning our 11th season.
Wow.
I was in the restaurant business with my wife, who was a chef for a long time, and before that I had worked in the theater, various capacities, actor, stage manager, sort of thing. And then I, of course, being in the restaurant business, it's all consuming, and that went by for about 25 years.
What did you do in the restaurant business?
I ran the front of the house, and also I did prep cooking during the day. So I had a long day cooking, and then 5 o'clock I'd get clean up real good, and I'd go and work in the dining room.
How long were you doing that?
Almost 25 years. Yeah. So then when we sold the business, and I thought, well, I got a regular job, working 40 hours a week, which seemed like part-time to me then.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, maybe I could do theater again, but certainly not pursue it as a career anymore. Yeah.
And you chose Shakespeare for...
Well, I chose Shakespeare when I decided to have my own theater. And I decided to have my own theater because I wanted to direct more, and you don't get a chance to direct unless you have your own theater, because everyone
wants to direct.
Got their own territory. They'll let you in. I found that out. So I thought, well, I'm going to figure out getting my own theater. And then I thought, well, what do I want it to be centered around? And I thought, Shakespeare, because I never got enough opportunities to do Shakespeare. And I thought, if I started and tried to do all of his works, maybe by the time I kicked off, I would have said, oh, I did it all. Started in 2008. April 23rd, which is Shakespeare's birthday, or what's marked as his birthday. That'll give you an idea of whether this would be a practical idea or not. Well, it did. People were really interested. I did a Shakespeare birthday show, and I formed a nonprofit community theater group over the summer, bullied and cajoled people into being part of it and getting on a board.
You're still doing that.
And I'm still doing that. Never ends. And we started our season the following fall.
Yeah. So they were reaching just regular people.
Yeah. I mean, they had the nobility coming, who sat in the 2 and 3 penny seats with the cushions, and they had the regular,
the rest of us.
The rest of us down in the pit for a penny, and they had to satisfy all of that. They had the theaters. Accommodated, the outdoor theaters accommodated a couple of thousand people.
Wow.
So, and he had to fill them. And he did. He wound up to be not only a famed playwright, but a pretty well-off gentleman.
Those pennies can add up, huh?
I don't qualify myself as an expert. I think the people, the scholars who write all the wonderful books that I read, I consider them experts. I consider myself an actor, director, producer, and I can do that. So, but there are wonderful, wonderful books about Shakespeare and about his work.
Well, without you, his works wouldn't be shown. They would be just books.
He wrote poetry to be read. That's where he thought his fame, his lasting fame, would come from his poetry. Well, it came from his plays, which he just wrote for the moment. I mean, it was theater was just really beginning to develop in that time as theater as we know it, and it was sort of like early television. You know how the writers would all get together and they'd just throw out all this stuff and then they'd do it live, and well, that was the equivalent of that. No, we've never done the Winters.
It's a very unique play.
It is. It's an odd play. You know, it's one of his later works. But the characters are wonderful. The sort of lessons in the play are terrific about being a human. Yeah. Which I think he wrote about a lot. Yeah. I think he wrote about how to be a human.
Now, In this particular production, you have, what, 15, 16, 17 people in the production?
Yeah, this is a large cast.
I know.
And Ray has even combined some roles to reduce it and made some cuts here and there, as one usually does when one does Shakespeare. Yeah, and the plots are really, in a lot of his plays, irrelevant. This one is more relevant than a lot.
Yeah, this is...
it's really about the people.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was a great observer of human behavior.
Yeah. This particular play, to me, it has two different parts. It has, before the intermission, a child being dropped off in the desert, and then the second part is kind of a celebration. And
you got the first part, which is kind of a drama.
Yeah.
And then the second part, and you've got all these crazy characters, including the character I play, which is the old shepherd.
The dance routine is in the second part. And why are you in that? How did you...
Because that scene is written as this kind of a sheep shearing celebration, sort of like if we were farmers, it would be a harvest celebration. So we're having this celebration for the sheep shearing. And there's, the plot calls for dancing and music and singing. We're doing a square dance because
Joe, it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
So you're going to be in Roger Street Theatre.
I like the arrangement. I like the size of it.
Yeah.
It's very intimate, and I think especially in this production, in all productions, we tend to sort of gear toward the audience to keep them involved.
Yeah.
We don't want Shakespeare to be something. We don't like to do what I call museum Shakespeare. It has to be alive and it has to connect. Certainly in Shakespeare's day, all those people down in the pit, they were all who paid a penny. They played to them, they'd talk to them, people would talk back.
You want people in the audience here to talk back?
Not particularly. This theater has some intimacy to it, and I like the location being downtown. You can come here, go to a restaurant, and come to the theater, or go out afterwards. And
yeah, it's a perfect location.
Our advertising budget is pretty much non-existent, so we have to reach them a lot by social media. So let all your friends know, put it on your emails, your Facebook pages. If you tweet about it, keep people, because it's the people you know who are going to form the core of the audience. Yeah.